This is the 2017 Mercedes AMG C63S. And here's a little warning, a little spoiler alert to the viewers out there. I don't just like this car, I love it. So for the next few minutes, I'm just gonna tell you what I really love about this car. First of all, the looks. Just look at it. The C63 Coupe is really a lot more than just the C-Class Coupe with more power. In fact, this car only shares the doors, roof, and trunk lid from the Coupe. Everything else is different. The AMG Coupe is wider than the standard Coupe, the rear by 66 millimeters and the front by 64. Huge tires are housed inside some nice flares, giving this coupe a very aggressive, dominant stance. This one is equipped with the staggered wheel option, so the fronts are 19-inch while the rears are 20. They're finished in matte black and they look great against the diamond white metallic paint. There's just the right amount of chrome, polished metal, creases, and corners on this C63S. Nothing's overdone. Even the spoiler on the rear deck is very subtle. I love it that way, and I love how the quad exhaust tips integrate out of the rear diffuser. When I first picked up the C63S, I needed to put something in the trunk, and I'm like, oh man, where is the trunk release? There is none. So you have to use a button inside the cockpit or the key fob. But then, figured it out. It has the kick feature, kick under the bumper. Up it goes, power lift, and inside quite a bit of room. It's not super tall, but if you need longer items to go through, you can put those rear seats down as well. Another kick, and it closes for you by power. Gotta love it. Now for the inside of the C63S, I love it. You see, there's a trend forming here. This is kind of a C63 love fest. What's not to love? First of all, just look at it. I don't even have to say anything. It looks stunning. There's a mixture of different materials. There's a lot of details. So let's start with the steering wheel first of all. You get a mixture of brushed aluminum or metal. You have leather on the top and the bottom of this D-shaped steering wheel. And then on the sides, you have a suede microfiber from Mercedes. And then in the center, this has the carbon fiber package. So you have this beautiful carbon fiber section here surrounding the control module. This is how you control the screen, and you can use this like a mouse pad, so you can go scroll basically left and right, up and down, and you can select things just by hitting it like a mouse, or you can use the scroll as well. So all your radio, your media, phone, everything, and all your vehicle settings. So when you wanted to individualize or customize your dynamic settings, your drive settings, you can do that on the screen. It's quite easy, and you can pull up all sorts of different performance modes and gauges as well. Then you have the color. I love this red. Like I said, there's so much detail. This is equipped with the Burmester stereo, and just how it crowns over the speaker grills, it just looks so good. And the detail of the stitching on the steering wheel, on the dash, on the seats, and even the embossed AMG on the headrest. It's really hard to beat this interior. Moving on to the back, there's a seat pull on either side of the front seats. And when you pull that, by the way, they're integrated beautifully into the seat. The seat moves forward and tilts up as well, making it easy to get in the back. Or in my case as well, I was able to put 2 car seats back there, and so it'll handle it no problem. But I didn't have to break my back getting in there to cinch the kids up. It's a real nice handy feature. Sure, this is not going to be a family car, but if you need it in a pinch, it'll work. Woohoo! All right, this is fun. Okay, unfortunately, that's not me, and we're not on the racetrack. We're driving this C63S around town, but that doesn't mean that you can't have fun. You see, this S has a little bit more power. It has 503 horsepower and 516 pound-feet of torque, which makes it a very ideal daily driver. When you need to get into a spot in traffic, a little bit of a press of the pedal and you're there. So what's under the hood? It's the same 4-liter twin turbo that you find in the C63, except this one's been a little bit more massaged, give you that extra horsepower. And it's a very similar motor that's found in the AMG GT itself. Now the transmission, a 7-speed MCT multi-clutch transmission. It's not a dual clutch, but it's not a conventional automatic with a torque converter either. It's kind of an in-between. It's pretty quick to shift and downshift. What's nice is around town, sometimes with a dual clutch transmission, you get that jerkiness when you're starting off because it kind of has to grab, and it's not the greatest for stop and go traffic. But this one here, we're stopped at a light here. I'm gonna press the pedal and it engages almost instantly. Not instantly, but pretty close. One of the best things about this S is it comes with the performance exhaust standard, and with a flick of a button or a press of a button, we go from normal into, oh yeah, you can hear that V8 just kind of open up. The sound is just so throaty and deep. You gotta love it. This car has all different type of drive modes. You can of course select the transmission from automatic or manual. You have paddle shifters. Now the gear selector is on the column. It would be nice to have one on the center console because sometimes I like manual shifting from the center instead of just the paddles here. But different drive modes. You have Comfort, Sport, Sport Plus, exclusive to the S model. You get a track mode as well. So all those modes, they just basically widen the parameters. Comfort mode, that's pretty self-explanatory. Sport, it opens the parameters up. But even all the way to track mode, you can still have some of the stability programs to help you, and it just makes you a better and faster driver, that's for sure. Suspension-wise, this is equipped with an adaptive suspension. We are in Comfort right now. Now if I switch it over to Sport, we can go actual Sport Plus as well. Now we're on the highway right now, so it's not that noticeable. You can feel basically everything, but when we're in town, if you're driving it around on a lot of roads that are either rough roads or they've had a lot of repairs done to them, it's gonna be really way too bumpy. And that's one little thing that I've got to say about this C63S is even under Comfort on real rough roads, you're gonna feel it. So what makes this rear wheel drive 500 plus horsepower monster handle so well? Well, first of all, we have super sticky Michelin tires. That helps. The adaptive suspension. This car is also equipped with dynamic motor mounts even. So under regular driving, the motor mounts are actually a little, basically, let's just say softer. They have more give to them, which basically enhances the more comfortable ride. But under hard driving, you get a nice rigid motor mount, which stiffens everything up, making your steering inputs a lot quicker and a lot more precise. And on the S, you also get an electronic limited rear slip differential, and that's really going to help, and it's very noticeable. Even at lower speeds, turning sharper corners, it really rotates the car very nicely. This car does have some heft to it. It is not a light vehicle, and you can really feel it. It does give you a sense of confidence. It feels extremely well planted. And just in case you're wondering, how long does it take to get to 100K from zero? Let's see. Okay, that's it. That was pretty darn quick. Oh yeah. You know, there are just some cars that you get and you really honestly don't want to give back. The power, it just keeps on pulling and pulling. Even if you're up one gear too high, it's got that torque and it can just still keep pulling. Or else if you really want to get in that sweet spot, you can make it. Whoa! can have a little bit of fun or a lot of fun with it. When you do an internet search for a C63 or a C63S, up comes its natural competitor, and that's the BMW M4. Which one would I choose of these two ultra-competitive vehicles? Well, I really do like the drive of the BMW. It's light feeling, it's very nimble, and I just like the natural drive of a BMW. I've owned 3 of them in the past few years. But in this case, I'd have to choose the C63S. Why? 2 reasons. First of all, that interior absolutely rocks. It's gorgeous, it's new, it's fresh, and it just looks really sexy. I could sit in there and look at it all day. And then, of course, that V8 engine, that growl, the grunt, and that torque, you just can't beat it. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up, and if you want to see more everyday reviews, hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching.